Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. I actually don't know if it's morning, night, or evening when you watch this video, but it is morning here in Florida. And I wanted to do a little update on the Jeep. I know I don't really post a lot of videos. I just kind of want to give y'all content that might be useful or information that you could use. Plus, update those of y'all that do follow on social media about the Jeep. So, that being said, I do apologize in advance. The Jeep is like nowhere near good looking right now. It's definitely not clean, not that it needs to be, but it's wedding week for us and I've sort of been neglecting it, trying to get a whole bunch of projects done. But let me go ahead and show you some things, some good, some bad. As you can see, the Jeep is fenderless. So one of the reasons I wanted to show it to y'all without fenders, for those who haven't seen the JL without fenders, now you can get a really good look, especially with the 2.0 turbo motor. You get a really good view of all the extra coolant lines, AC lines, whatever, downpipe. Really a lot of interesting stuff going on there. Now, the reason you don't see fenders is because I originally ordered, and sorry if you see parts of my garage, it's disgusting because I just keep forgetting to throw every box out. I had ordered a set of DV8 fenders and liners. Now, those are the rest of the fender pack. You won't see the liners because of a mistake. Now, the mistake is I ordered a set of DV8 fenders because for me, not being a hard rock crawler, light trails, some beach and daily driver, and some mall crawling, they seem to fit the budget for what would make sense. Like they could take the abuse. The problem I had is if you see like right here how it's indented some, they made a product that fit fine in here, but then when it was laying along the edge here, there was just an air gap all the way through. Now that gap is fine because they give you a weather strip that would, let's see if I have the weather strip available. The weather strip, yeah, right here. So this weather strip was to go around the edge. But before I ever fully installed it, I wanted to see how it fit. And I was glad I did. Because the backing, and I'll try to show you on it, the backing that went alongside this edge wasn't flat. Like it was bent out. So part of it would rest on the paint and the other part would have the gap all the way around. It just wasn't a good piece. Could it be, it could be because of too much constant welding that warped it, poor cuts. Either way, I was really upset about it. I was upset enough about it to the point that because I've gone and installed on this side all these rev nuts, which they'll probably come in handy on another set of something else, which I do have coming. But I'd already gone and done this, you know, sort of scratched up the car or the Jeep, but I mean it's a Jeep. I'm not that worried about the little scratch here. But I just couldn't stay with that product. But then on top of it, on top of that, they canceled part of the order. It was a 3-part order. It's supposed to all come at once though. It was front inner liners, rear inner liners, and the full armor set. Well, they canceled and don't tell me that. I had to call to find out the next day. They canceled it because they had accidentally sent JK rears is what they said they did. Well, I go to FedEx to pick up the JL fronts that are supposed to arrive, and they're actually JK rears. So they didn't even cancel the right tracking number to return to a fix. So now I'm sitting with no fenders, no liners, completely exposed, and they were express shipping. Like, I shouldn't have had to ask for that because I've already been so inconvenienced for that. They said they're shipping the right ones that'll be here today. Well, I started to realize that for $1,200–1,300, I could spend more money or even similar money and go a different route. So that's why you see we're fully deleted. The Delete is going to, from what I've seen, require cutting off of these tabs. It's fine, I'm okay with that, because it's going to make room for my 37s that are going to go on, even though I really didn't need them with my lift. But I do have a set of 37s on 17s going on. But I'm going to order, or I have ordered the Gen-Right Fender Delete, and I'm going to have it powder coated just a simple flat black, maybe even a textured black just to kind of match throughout. But it'll go along this edge here and clean this up, and then all the tabs will be gone. I also have the Artec non-vent, well, I think they said it's vented but not cut out, inner fender, and those will get powder coated in black as well for the front and rear. So what I discovered in doing so is, for a similar price, you could do a Fender Delete, and with Artec's front being on sale right now, or one of their fronts being on sale for their inner liners, I'm actually still in the same boat, maybe even less money really than, I just really would have to look at the numbers on that, but about similar money as the DV8 stuff. But while I was at it, I'll show you some things that the dealer's done that's made me upset. So I got these rock crawler arms installed. Now, don't worry about the rubbing, that was because they also installed them wrong at the time. But if you look here, on both, I had this squeaking sound that I could not find for the life of me when I had everything on here. I really couldn't get back here. And I hadn't noticed it, just kind of simple oversight, but they've got the shock bolt tightened all the way over to this, right there. So every time the arms flex, it goes constantly. So that'll be going to Oren at Track and Trail, he'll get that fixed. But another thing I've been wanting to show y'all, I know a lot of people on the forums have seen me post about it, was my soundbar. Now I'm not gonna turn it on, only because it honestly not gonna do any good in a video, but I want y'all to see it. I'll show you how I did the sub. Pardon the mess again, like just cause it's a busy time for me, but here is the soundbar. We have 4 8-inch PRV speakers angled 2 directions, so the sound kind of isn't just flat down. It, you know, kind of helps spread it throughout the vehicle. And for now, 4 audio pipe bullet style tweeters, and it was paint code color to match the Jeep. PRV did make an appearance at SEMA this year, so if you are at SEMA, you can check it out, or if you were at SEMA, you probably saw them. We did a single 12 from Massive Audio, and the reason we built the box like this, if you've ever heard an open air sub, once you're really traveling down the road, especially with the top off, when you're traveling with the top off, that bass just escapes it. Firing it to the floor allows the bass to really, at least that air movement, start at the floor. And it has helped increasingly. If I had the box turned the other way, which I did at first, where it fired side to side, I actually had less bass response. So the next thing we're gonna, or at least bass feel and note that I could hear and feel. Another thing we're gonna try is maybe just the backside be one solid piece all the way down, only an opening towards the seats, so that way the bass sort of travels forward, so to speak, even though bass is omnidirectional, to give it kind of an air path towards the front of the vehicle. We might add a second 12 as well, because while I'm driving with, you know, top up, or even, you know, slow, like through town with the top down, the bass is okay. Now, because it's a shallow mount sub, it doesn't have a really big range, but it has some nice notes and it hits pretty well. But we might add a second 12, where I'm going to go to a more of like a middle competition level, like a W6 12, just single 12 there. But I wanted to show you all that here. I'll give you another view of it real quick, just because I'm sure people are going to want to see it again. So, all hand-laid fiberglass. They took the original soundbar. This is the original soundbar, and they molded over it. So unless you wanted to buy another one and send it down, Design X in Winter Garden, Florida is who built it. Julio did it. And honestly, I'm pretty happy with it, with the outcome. All this plastic still rattles, so I'm going to go in and put some foam underneath it, because I've tightened it all down. But like when I'm driving, I can hear this. But this thing is pretty sturdy. As you can see, it's not really moving. So the mounts are good. We got the top fixed, and then from that top issue, now the inside is all loosened and rattles. It rattles like it's 20 years old. That does drive me nuts. But other than that, the Jeep is good. We've got the tire carry-on. It needs a little adjustment. So you can still see there's a little gap here where it should be resting on the tailgate. So it does need some adjustment. I'm working with Weston on that, because those turnbuckles are maxed out. Anyways, y'all, if y'all have any questions, you know, just write it in the comments. I'll do my best to answer it for you. Again, so what we're doing is we got 37 1250 Maturo Trail Blade bosses going on a 17-inch method wheel. They're 37 1250 17s. It's like they're kind of like a Nitto mud grab, but for Maturo. I got a good deal on them through a friend's shop. But big shout out to Chris Miller at Alpha Dirt Off-Road for helping me get all this Fender stuff straightened out. So now we're, like I said, we're running the Gen Right Fender Deletes, R-Tech inners. It's gonna be good. It's gonna look sharp. It's gonna make me want to go bigger, but that's okay. And then hide all this crap, all this wires that's ran through. This is all just kind of rigged up right now, my rock lights, because I took the fender liners off. So slowly but surely it will come back together. Anyways, I hope y'all kind of enjoyed this. Sort of a last minute throw together. But oh yeah, here, it's on both sides, by the way. See, that bolt's just rubbing nice on that adjuster nut or lock nut. So have a good one, y'all.